Hey everybody, we're at the 2024 Sedona Mountain Bike Fest and we're taking a look at all the cool, nerdy, big brain stuff we can find. Let's go. We're here in the Reeb booth. Reeb is from Colorado and they do some really nerdy things, but they kind of hide it, and today we're going to unhide it. These are some of the 3D printed parts that they use in their designs. Really cool how they can use additive manufacturing to do things that you couldn't do otherwise. So this part comes from the Stiesel. That's their steel front triangle, aluminum rear triangle, big travel trail crusher. The SST also has 3D printed parts as well. You'll see it on the dropouts here. That's a 3D printed part. And these are stainless steel and they weld them to their 4130 chromoly to make a frame. And so they can do some really cool stuff and engineer some stuff that they couldn't do just with welding tubes together. They've also got a prototype hardtail on display. This is near and dear to my heart. Check this out. This has this flattened flex stays of the SST as well. The idea is to get a little more compliance and get the rear end flexing. And I am a big fan of that, especially here in Sedona. There's so much chatter, so many square edges. And on a bike packing ride or a long ride, you don't realize how much micro vibrations really fatigue you and wear you out. Steel has a really nice ride quality when done right, that it absorbs those tiny, tiny frequencies. So when we say steel is real, or we talk about flex, it's not like you're getting on it and like squishing it like a full suspension. It's more that these minute vibrations never make it to your body. Anyway, it's really cool to see what they're doing, thinking about flattening out some of the seat stays here to get some engineered flex into that rear end. This is a full-on prototype. When this does hit market, I'm sure there's gonna be lots of things different, but I love seeing companies that do prototype. So many companies send a CAD drawing off to Asia, order 500 of them, and then they come back and they're stuck with whatever was built. And no one's ever ridden them to see if they actually work. It was just a concept on paper. Seeing a company prototype it and build it, and knowing that they have the production facilities in Colorado to tweak stuff and make changes and then go for a ride and then keep tweaking until they're happy with it, it makes a big difference. And you notice it when you ride the bike. There's a huge difference between a great designed bike and an average bike. And there's a huge price difference between something like this and something like a Kona or a Specialized or something like that. No shade on them, but there's a huge difference in them, and the ride quality is noticeable. So I'm really happy to see small companies like Reeb doing out-of-the-box, big brain thinking. We've had hardtails for decades and decades and decades, and they're still finding ways to push it and make things interesting. Same thing with full suspensions. So many people say, aren't we kind of done with innovation? Like, bikes have kind of hit this part where all bikes are great. I disagree. I don't think all bikes ride great, but there's still so much more to explore, and that's what Big Brain Party's all about, is finding these big brain thinkers in the world and sharing their ideas with you. What do you think? Are you a fan of what these guys are doing? You like flex stays? Do you ride hardtails? Would you rather have a trail hardtail or a bike packing dedicated hardtail? I'd love to hear in the comments below. Reeb just introduced this new cool machined part that allows you to run your Stiesel down to 140 mil travel. It goes right here and you run a shorter stroke shock, and now this 160 bike just became a 140 bike. I'm hearing news in the industry that companies like Trek are like simplifying their catalog like crazy, and instead of having so many little models that overlap barely, they're just going to have big jumps between models. This is a really cool idea. It helps small companies like this pivot and stay flexible and still offer many different travel options without having to stock a whole nother SKU of frames, which is just gonna put more stress on a smaller company. So really cool to see one little part like that can change an already great bike into a great bike in a totally different genre. And if you've got a Stiesel, you can get this and a different shock, and now you've got two bikes in one and you can swap that back and forth. We're here at the Outbound Lighting booth, and these guys are nerds as well. We have a sneak peek on something that has not been released, and they gave me permission to talk about it. So these are the lights I use. This is the Trail Evo. This is a massive, super powerful headlight on your bars. And then this hangover is their helmet light. It's nice and lightweight, very portable. I can even pack a spare one in my hip pack and keep that with me for really long days. But my #1 request has been, I would love the helmet light with just a bit more battery life. And that is what they're prototyping here. So we can't show too much of this or talk about it too much. It is going to be called the Portal. It has 40% more runtime than the Hangover, which is fantastic. That means I'm not going to have to carry a spare Hangover with me. It's also designed to kind of be not just a super powerful helmet light, but you could also run it as your bar light. Like a lot of people aren't sending it on big slabs like we are at midnight, and they're just doing some more XC stuff and they just need one light. And this could be a light that you could run either on your bars or on your helmet. It'll swap back and forth, and if you're only going to be able to get one light, this is a great way to do that. I'm really excited for that. I've been super impressed with the optics and just the amount of light these throw on the trail. We do a weekly night ride here in Sedona, and Sedona's rough enough in the day, and then you add shadows and light contrasts and fatigue, and having a good light setup is crucial, and most of us are running the Outbound Lighting setup. Anyway, super cool to be able to share that sneak peek with you of the new Portal light that's coming sometime in 2024. So your first time riding Sedona is a bit humbling. It's very different than everywhere else. There's very little momentum, big square edge rocks everywhere, and a lot of people come and they're like, man, I thought I was a good rider, but I'm just having an off day. And that's super normal, and I have the same thing when I go to other places and learn new terrain there. If you want help mastering Sedona terrain and improving your riding here, find a local coaching outfit. My favorite is Sedona Mountain Bike Academy, SMBA. They're local, they do a really great job, they're super friendly, super knowledgeable, and they can take you out on guided tours. They can just do coaching sessions. If there's one thing you want to improve on your riding, they can just focus on that, or you could go for a ride together and they can give you tips as you go. It's a great way to see Sedona and not feel like you're having an off day, and level up and gain some skills in the process. We're at Crank Brothers, and I'm probably the only nerd that's excited about this. This new cleat tool is really cool. This thing helps you get the angle dialed in when you lock in your cleat. Always, when I'm cranking down that last little bit to torque it, the cleat shifts. This gives you just a little bit more grip to hang on to it and get a little bit of leverage to hold it flat while you're cranking down on it. These aren't quite on the market yet, but they are close. Another cool thing is you've got a depth gauge on these right here, so that you can make sure you set your cleat height ideal for how Crank Brothers intended that shoe to sit and interface with the pedal. A lot of people just kind of throw it on and go without thinking about cleat height or cleat position. We're going to talk about that and dive super deep in a future video. I'm really excited to bring that to you, but this tool will be on display in that video. Really cool, simple thing to make your cleat setup even better. We're here at the Jebo tent, about to go on my RC rock crawling meetup. We're gonna have a lot of fun with that, but I want to showcase these sunglasses to you first. This is the Density. This is what I'm currently wearing right now. Really lightweight, minimalist, but still covers your face really well. I love them when riding. They block the wind really well and protect my eyes, and I forget that I'm wearing them. This is the Edge. I love the Edge as well. These have a magnetic lens release right here. Really cool way to swap your lenses. I've got a few different lenses for my Edges. Some of them are totally on all the time like this, just dark all the time, and then others are the reactive lenses as well that react to the amount of sunlight. Over here we've got the Furies, the Rush. These fit the most like a goggle for me. They kind of surround the eye the most and keep the wind out more than anything else. I think these offer the most protection. They're a little bit heavier, a little bit more substantial. And so when I'm not quite ready to go to a goggle, or if pollen's really bad, or if I know it's gonna be a windy day, these are what I take with me. Over here we've got the lifestyle glasses. We've got the Spark, the Streets, and the Slack. Another cool thing, a lot of people ask, I have prescription lenses. Can Jebo get those reactive lenses where they react to the light and still have the great optics with my prescription in mind? For most of the glasses, yes, you can. That's great news for so many of us. So we're here with the Big Brain Party RC rock crawl. We didn't know if people would be interested in this. We got the coolest group here, and we have the coolest rigs. VRD stance. Oh, look at these sick scale rigs. Are these 118?
Yeah.
Oh, those look so good. I love it. This is so fun to see. Awesome.
Yeah, that would be fun too.
Oop. Oop, wait. There we go. Oh. Nice.
Now it's more King of Hammers style.
Yeah.
This form of cording I've never seen before between tracks.
We'll make another one.
Sold it. Yeah. The same truck because it works so good. Check this out.
Yeah, I've got mine's a Gen 1 and it's all stock.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all the time I'm like,
Yeah, you put like a nice set of shocks on it.
RC Crawl Fest was a hit. We're gonna do that again next year. We'll get a little more organized, maybe get a course together. That'll be fun. We're at the Rocky Mountain booth and we're checking out the brand new Instinct. This is really cool. They've got a reach adjust headset here. That means you can swap cups in here that they include with the bike for a -5 mil reach, stock, or +5 mil reach. Now, World Cup downhillers have been experimenting with this for a long time, but I haven't seen it on a production bike yet. And that makes me so excited. That means we can fine-tune the sizing of a bike. A lot of people are in between sizing. This allows you to run a size up and bring the reach in, or a size down and bring the reach forward. I'm always a fan of more adjustment, and this is a huge step forward. Way to go, Rocky Mountain. We're here at the Norco booth, and this is the bike that I'm going to award the full suspension I wish I had most out of all the other bikes here. This is the brand new Optic 125 140 Trail Smasher. It's a high pivot short travel bike, and I'm so curious to know what it rides like. Norco's doing some really cool stuff here, thinking outside the box with their big brains, but this comes in a mullet or a 29er. I kind of think I'd like it as a mullet here in Sedona. I'm gonna see what I can do to get a test ride on one of these days, because it looks so wonderful. I found one of my heroes, Mike Casimir, tech editor, one of my favorite tech editors ever. Mike, super great to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for saying hi and coming out. We're here at the Gulo booth, and Gulo has some really cool wheels. They're made in North Carolina, and they use carbon fiber spokes. We talk a lot about compliance on this channel. That means taking away the chatter and vibration that makes it to your body when you're riding. This is their answer to that, is the carbon fiber spoke. And there's only 24 spokes on each wheel, so it's got a little bit more room to flex. I have a set of these, I really like them, and they really do take some of that vibration away. They're made in North Carolina, made in the USA, and they are super light. It feels like every time I see a new carbon wheel, they say, well, we didn't design it to be light, we designed it to be strong. It's refreshing to find companies like Gulo who do try to still keep it light. To me, it's kind of like, I don't see a huge performance advantage to go to carbon wheels if they're not much lighter than aluminum, because there are some really great aluminum wheels out there. Anyway, cool to see Gulo here. They've got some new designs in here, but according to them, I think it was like, the spoke was something like 7% more vibration reducing than steel spokes. We're gonna do a deep dive, nerdy dive with them in a future video, but I just want to give you a quick overview of their products here. Thunder Mountain Bikes is my favorite local Sedona bike shop. It's where I recommend everyone goes that wants to get trail advice, or that needs their bike repaired, or needs a part or something. Check them out, Thunder Mountain Bikes. They are one of the last remaining good small bike shops, independent shop run by a local. Really like their stuff. We're here at the Ari booth, formerly known as Fazari. This is the e-bike that's captured my attention the most, my favorite e-bike of the show. This is the Jebo Peak. It reminds me a lot of the old Delano Peak. That was a great bike. I really like that bike. This is a not full power e-bike that still is pretty close to full power, and it comes in at like 41, 42 pounds. That is really impressive. A lot of the e-bikes I've ridden are in the 55, 56, 57 pound range, and shaving 16 pounds off of that would be very noticeable. I hope I get to throw a leg over these one of these days, because it looks really intriguing.
I heard a camera turn on and I just had to come by.
Oh, it's just like Tinkerbell when you ring that little bell and she just shows up.
Yeah. And then you just fly out of here real fast.
So good. We're here at the Hand Up booth. They just dropped their new spring collection of gloves and apparel and fun Hawaiian print jerseys. These are their activities. It's a tech tee that you wear, and you can kind of wear it like a jersey but still be casual. Someone wants to talk over here.
I need to talk to Steve.
How you doing?
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
I'm so good. How are you?
It's going good. How's your new channel going?
Good. I like gloves. My hands get sweaty on the bars when I don't have gloves. I like the soft thumb nose wipe. The whole thumb is a nose wipe. And they've got fun little sayings on the inside of them. And right now I'm wearing hand-up jorts. These are stretchy jean shorts, and they're actually my favorite shorts to ride in. I wear a chamois underneath them, or like a Saks boxer brief for long days, but they make my favorite shorts. And I'm not saying that because I have a discount code with them. I really do think these are the best shorts out on the market. So if you want a casual style that still works really well on the bike, make sure to check those jorts out. We're here at the Ride 88 booth, and there's some big brains here as well that have created a cool way to secure a bike tire in a rack. This is my #1 favorite way to hold a bike down. It sounds like a small thing, like we've had bike racks forever, and there's a million different ways to hold on to the bike, but this is my favorite. It's a cam actuated system here. Just roll it right in, hit your cam, boom, and you can adjust it to the height of your wheel. These are modular racks, so they can go in the truck pickup bed, they can go in a trailer, they can go in an RV, they could go inside a van, they could go on the wall in your shop. I really like things that are modular that can have multi-purposes. So this will just spread to the width of your truck bed. You can lock it in there. It'll fit big fat tires, it'll fit small bikes, all sorts of things, but it's just such a sleek solution for me. And I like that there's zero contact with your bike other than the tire. You're not gonna get rubbing on your fork or on the fork arch. It's one of those simple things that it's kind of like the iPhone. When you use it, you're like, why aren't all phones this simple? Well, it's because it takes a lot of design and a lot of problem solving and a lot of work to make a simple product. Simple products aren't easy to make, but they're easy to use. And to me, this makes a lot of sense. They've also got this kind of moto style rack. This is kind of new. It clamps onto the bar and you can just roll your bike in and cinch it down with ratchet straps. Just, I think for like Surons and stuff, that might be a really great solution too if you don't want the whole bike rack system. And I've been talking with the big brains at Ride 88, and they've got a 5% off code, which is really cool for them to do for such a small channel. So if you're interested in this, use the code in the description below, Big Brain, and that'll get you 5% off anything at Ride 88. Finally got my dream pickup, my old Toyota Hilux, and I can't wait to mount the bikes in it and see how this works real time. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, I thought this was really neat. It's a small thing, but it's done really, really well. That's Ride 88. I've had a blast. I love this festival. It's my hometown. It's my home festival. I love the community and the people and the fun times. Hope to see you guys out here next year. Feel free to bring your rock crawler. We're gonna do that again. That was a hit. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. I'd love to hear what you'd like to learn about more on Big Brain Party.